What's up, brothers? Hope everyone's doing well out there. Got some nice little snowstorm action going on this evening. I don't think I've ever recorded in the snow before, so a little bit of first time action going on this evening. And it's rather majestic looking, so I'm enjoying it. Hopefully my camera can hold up, and the microphone. Hopefully I don't destroy them. Anyways, what I wanted to talk about in tonight's video is letting nature take its course. And in my opinion, when it comes to dating and relationships, or when it comes to the attraction side of things, I typically like to avoid conversations about how to attract women, or, different strategies to get someone to like you. I try to avoid those subjects because I'm a firm believer in, natural selection. And I think at the end of the day, people end up with people who are a good match for them. And I think pickup artists and the whole, the whole gamey, strategically trying to convince a woman that you're high value, or that you're a good fit for her, or that you're attractive, or that she should want you, trying to push her buttons through various communications, I think can work in the short term. So in terms of hookup culture, in terms of getting laid at the club when you're drunk, I think it can come in handy if that's all you're looking for. But I think at the end of the day, she's still going to end up with a guy that she's naturally selecting, we could say. And I say this because, for me personally, this is just my experience. When I walk into a room full of people, I can typically tell the people I would be friends with. I can tell the women that I would be compatible with. I can spot them out very quickly. I don't think I'm the only one that can do this. I think most people instinctively have this skill, and I think they apply it and they use it. I think most of you guys could walk into the gym on Monday morning, and you can kind of tell just based off of eye contact, body language, you can tell by a person's demeanor if they would be a good fit for you. I think it always works out that way, and at the end of the day, you're going to end up with somebody who is a good fit for you. So whoever you are and what you're about, what your character is, and what you look for in a person, that's what you're going to find. And you're not always going to find what you think you want, but you're always going to find what you deserve. So anytime you're worried about something like a woman ghosting you, or a woman breaking up with you, or a woman pulling back when she initially showed high interest, I don't think it's a wise decision for you to sit around and think about and dwell on the fact that she did it and beat yourself up and think that you need to change something about yourself. Maybe it's something you said or something you did. I think you would be much better off just saying, you know what, she probably found somebody out, because this is the truth. She probably found somebody that's a way better fit for her than I am, so she went with him. It's difficult in the social media era because we stay connected to people for longer than we should. And, it's bizarre. So you got to think, 15 years ago, you could get somebody's phone number, and if they broke up with you, they could just block you. They could just tell you to stop calling them, and you had no way, you never knew what they were doing, right? You had no idea what was going on in their lives. There was no soft stalking through social media. keeping up with their stories. You just kind of had to let things go. But in this day and age, it's very easy to hold on to things when somebody has broken up with you or somebody's left you. It's very easy to look for signs and little subtle hints that maybe they still like you. And a lot of guys do this. And it sucks, it's embarrassing for them when they get caught up in this, but they still do it nonetheless. Right? They'll say, well, she made a post, and it was a song, and it was a love song. And the love song was really relatable to our relationship. So I think she posted that song to mess with my head. Or some shit like that, right? And women and men both do this, right? When they get broken up with. But what they don't realize is that person is long gone. And they're posting that love song for the new person that they're interested in. When they met you, they thought you were one thing. Maybe you were using pickup tactics. Maybe you did everything that the dating coaches said you should do. And she was digging it. She was attracted to it. But after 3 weeks sets in, she starts to pick up on who you really are. And another guy comes along who, has what she's looking for and you don't. But I don't think you should dwell on it, because you should know by reading people, you should understand if you're compatible with somebody or not. And anybody that would leave you high and dry, they're clearly not compatible with you, because you're looking for somebody that is, more committed. You're looking for somebody that is committed to you, and that person's not, therefore they're not compatible. I don't know. I mean, that's pretty obvious and shouldn't need to be said, but nonetheless, I think that's very true. Something else that I wanted to say is, I've made a few videos in these last few weeks about social media and the impact that it's had on dating and the women of TikTok and whatnot. And I'll tell you a story about an ex-girlfriend that I had. For those of you that are still here, I know the first half was kind of boring, but anyways, I had an ex-girlfriend. We were together for about 4 years. I had another one we were together for 10 years, but this one was 4 years. And I don't know why I stayed with her that long, because I saw a lot of signs that really showed me that she wasn't my type. She wasn't somebody that I would be into. To explain the type of people that I'm into, and this is the type of people that I grew up around, the type of people that I would see in my family growing up and my close friends growing up. And these type of people are people who are high value. Maybe they're intelligent, maybe they have good careers. Maybe some of them are even good looking. They have a lot of good things going for themselves. But they're very down to earth. Okay, so, honestly, that's like the opposite of what you see in the manosphere and what's preached in the manosphere, which is that instead of being down to earth, you should be like displaying high value. So they're basically telling guys that aren't high value to display high value, which is the opposite of the type of people that I enjoy being around. I enjoy people that are very high value, but they treat everyone almost as if other people are higher value than them. Just in like a generous way, just as an act of humility, I suppose. That's just the way they are. I'm very attracted to women that are that way too. I like women that are physically attractive, but they're also down to earth, and like the type of girl that may hang out with like nerdy people. She may have like a really nerdy best friend, or they're like some nerdy dude that isn't friend zoned by her in a deceitful way, but they're just cool. They're friends. Like those are the type of women that I like. You know what I mean? Anyways, this girl was the opposite of that. She was pretty hot, don't get me wrong, but she leaned very far in the narcissistic end of things. She always wanted the attention to be on her. The biggest reason why we would fight is because I wasn't giving her enough attention, she would say, but I was going to school part-time. I was working 2 jobs. I was busy, right? And I was making time for her, but I was just busy. And she wanted a lot of my time, but not because she wanted to spend quality time. It's not like as simple as that. It's because she wanted me to take her places that were like, like places she could take pictures at, right? Like she wanted to go places that were attractive for her social media and stuff. Like, so she could fill up her Instagram with all the cool places that I've been taking her, right? Like that's how she wanted to spend time with me. And, the sex was good. We had fun together, I suppose, but her personality was very much like a stuck-up person that used people for certain things. It was like every interaction she had with somebody was her using somebody. And a lot of men out there think that every woman is like that. They think they're all like that in this day and age, in this social media age. And a lot of guys out there will say, LFA, you don't understand these modern women. This stuff you're saying doesn't work on modern women. And I understand what you're saying if you're talking about highly narcissistic, really self-absorbed women. I don't think they're all that way, though. But anyways, we broke up. I'm not going to get into the details of the breakup. We broke up on Christmas, and she had the gift that she bought me, the gift she gave me was like a note complaining that I wasn't spending enough time with her. And I got her a nice gift that I thought she would like. And she gave me a note saying that I don't spend enough time with her. So I was like, you know what? Fuck this shit. I was like, we just don't have to talk at all anymore. Let's just part ways and be done. We never have to speak to each other again. And shortly after that, we did. She and I have not texted each other in years. We're not friends on Facebook or Instagram. We are, however, friends on Snapchat, which I don't use very often. And I was on there the other day, and I saw her recording a video of some stuff she was doing at home, and her newlywed husband was talking to her, and she was ignoring him. And he kept saying, like, okay, just gonna ignore me. And she just kept ignoring him and posting to her social media for her fans and her followers. And I couldn't help but watch a few more times within the next few days, and I kind of saw the same thing happening over and over again. She was still self-absorbed and narcissistic, and she wants all this attention on her, but, she's not down to earth, she's not loving and giving it back to other people. It's all about her, and I just couldn't help but think about how I dodged a fucking bullet. How lucky I am that we broke up that night. Imagine if I would have, stuck it out through the thick and the thin and stayed with her. The miserable look that I saw on his face is the look that I would have on my face constantly. And furthermore, the thing about social media, and if you're a guy that watches a lot of these women on social media, the crazies, right? The nut jobs out there, and you think, well, man, this is just an example of what modern women are like now that they have social media. I don't think that's the right way to think of it. Social media exposes individuals. So the women that you see behaving poorly on social media, they're exposing themselves. The thing about technology is, and our interactions with technology as human beings, you either keep up or you get left behind. Now, in order to keep up, you're going to have to figure out how to use it to your advantage and use it as a tool. If you don't, you'll get left behind. So, the more active a woman is on social media, and when I say active, maybe that's not the right word. She can use it a lot, but what is she using it for? You know, if it's somebody that just constantly needs attention, and not in a loving way, but in a narcissistic way, in a self-centered way, which, you know, that's usually the trait that people are talking about when they're talking about crazy modern women. If they're using it for that, then they've exposed themselves and they're not a qualified candidate. Now, if you're a man that doesn't want to be with that, you have to let natural selection run its course and say, this person is just simply not compatible with me. You know, nature tells me that I'm repulsed by this person. And by that same token, believe it or not, the truth is there's a lot of women out there that aren't even on social media. Now, if you're a guy that uses social media as your only outlet to talk to women, you're never going to find them. And, you know, a lot of people get mad if I say something like touch grass, but it's the truth. You know, you got to go find your places where you're going to find like-minded women, you know, women that are cut from the same cloth that you are. If you're on social media trying to attract self-absorbed women that are going out to the clubs, getting drunk, partying their lives away, always need validation, sexual validation, physical validation, financial validation, right? Need men to spend money on them and time, and you know, if you're always out looking for the wrong type of woman, or you're on social media hunting them down just because you think they're hot, you're going to be resorting to trying to overstep natural selection by using pickup, you know, different gamey tactics. And when you find yourself doing that, again, you're going to run into a dead end at some point. That's always the way it ends up. But, you know, that's just my take on the situation. If you use social media to your advantage, you can spot out the ones you need to avoid. And again, you can use it to find the ones that maybe you're compatible with. That's just my take on the situation. But, you know, guess you're free to have your own take. I'm freezing out here, man. I'm freezing. Snowplow driving by. All right, guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and shut this one off. Hope this video was somewhat informative, even though I'm sure it probably wasn't. That's about it for tonight, guys. Until next time, see ya.